Hey, what's up everyone? It's Darren from WeAudition here, and I'm coming to you live from Vancouver, Canada. How's it going? And we are here doing a demo reel Q&A with Brett Newton from LAReels.com. How are you doing, guys? I'm just typing in what we're doing in the top there, so you guys all know. I'm going to post this as a comment. So let's pin that comment up the top so you guys can see. So hi everyone, it's Darren from WeAudition. Hi, let's see what we've got here. Jewels of the Earth, how's it going? April, good to see you. Leah, Wade, Shia Luna, yep, and Mother City, yeah. So guys, just while I'm waiting for Brett to join, I'm here in Vancouver. I'm going for my evening walk, my bit of social isolation exercise. Just to make the point, I am keeping very distanced from people. I have my face mask in my pocket, and I hope you guys are too. So, can everyone hear me okay? Give me a heart if you can hear me okay. I just want to make sure my sound is good for you guys. Hey George, are you in Vancouver too? Isn't it a beautiful city? Hey Brett.
Hey Darren, what's up, buddy?
Great, I'm good, thank you. Oh my gosh, you've had a haircut.
Oh, I did. So I decided to grab
Yeah,
a
I didn't expect this.
shaver and buzz my head.
Cool, dude.
So,
You're breaking up a little bit, so I don't know if you can stay still or you can put some headphones in. But I think it's going to be better if you're in one spot because you're breaking up a little bit.
all right. How's that?
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can
That's
you hear me?
perfect.
All right. There we go.
You're in sunny Atlanta, aren't you?
Yeah. So I'm coming
Oh,
from
Brett,
Atlanta, Georgia.
that Brett is a cutie. Apparently your wife's on here, dude.
Yeah. Well, I need some supporters, right?
Oh, she says I am too. Thanks, Anne-Marie. Hey guys, so we've got some people joining now. Wait for a few more people to get on board.
Yeah.
Guys, so the way this is going to work, so I'm going to introduce Brett. He's going to tell you a bit about himself and about his company. So on the bottom, if you see on the bottom, there's a question little thing. Try and put your questions in there. If you've got a question for me or Brett, put your questions in the bottom there because that makes it easy for us to display them on the screen and to answer them for you. And then once Brett stopped making a ton of noise, whatever he's doing, what are you doing?
Sorry, I'm getting my little notepad set up so I can start writing down these questions.
It sounded like you're moving house.
Oh, sorry.
So guys, I'll give you a little bit background. Brett and I have known each other for many years from LA. Both been actors on that scene for a while. And then I moved, well, I went out to Atlanta and got myself an agent out there, and I came back and I told Brett how great it was. So Brett was like, I'm moving there full time. And now he's smashing it. And Brett, I'll let him tell you more about it. But Brett runs a company called LA Reels, which is a company which produces original content for actors' show reels and also edits actors' demo reels as well to give them the best demo reel going. So the Lex L, you've got a question. Can you put it in the questions box down beneath?
I see it.
Yeah, there's Lex, try and put your question in the question box because then I can display it on screen and then everyone can see it. Perfect. So Brett, tell us about yourself. Tell us about your acting journey.
So
tell us about what work you've done, and then tell us about LA Reels.
Sure. So I mean, I've been acting on stage. I'm from New Jersey. I've been acting on stage since I was 8. Moved to Los Angeles when I was 19, and I lived there for 15 years working in the TV and film industry. Got my SAG card out there. Was a avid commercial working actor. Worked on the shows like Glow, General Hospital. And just moved it and hustled like a crazy man. And then 8 years ago, with my old business partner Noah Edward, we actually started LA Reels. And we started it as a way, as young filmmakers, to one, create content ourselves, but then two, shoot all these short form narrative scenes and all these diverse genres. So we were writing original, 1 to 2 minute scenes. We were shooting them. We were editing them. Now 7 years or 8 years later, now we've shot and produced over 3,000 original scenes. We have a feature film.
Wait. 3,000?
Yeah.
You've shot 3,000 original showreel scenes
That we've counted. I mean,
yeah.
there's probably way more out there, but yeah, we have over 3,000 original scenes that we've shot, produced, and written.
So I just want to stop you there, Brett, for a second.
Yeah.
So guys, if you're listening to this and you're wondering about what being an expert means, that this is why we've got Brett on here, because he's an expert. If any of you have shot 3,000 reels out there, I challenge you to join us.
Thanks, Darren. I appreciate that, man.
I just want people to know we're not talking to someone that's done it once or twice. We're talking to someone that's done it 3,000 times.
Right.
And not for anyone as well. For actors in Hollywood, you've probably got some famous clients. I know that a bunch of our mutual friends are regularly working actors on TV, and they've appeared in a lot of your reels. So,
yeah. No, it's thanks, Lar. Thanks for appreciate it. No, and as an actor, because I came from the acting side, I became a filmmaker, so I could still work in the industry when I wasn't working as an actor. But as an actor, and a filmmaker, I understand both perspectives of it. I understand the artistic need as an actor to create certain things, but then I understand the business side of it, to what a producer, cast director, or a director is looking for when they're watching reels. It's pacing. It's get right in, show the goods, and get out, leaving them want more. So they call you in, so they want to come and see you.
Wait, that's amazing. Just repeat that. So it's get right in, show the goods.
Get in, show the goods, and get out, so you leave them wanting more, so they call you in.
Guys, if you're at home, write that down. Because that's important.
Thanks, Denise. Appreciate that. Yeah. We just did an awesome WeAudition seminar, where we reviewed 40 reels and then sent notes out to everybody. So
right.
Denise was there. So yeah, thank you, Denise. I do what I can, So, get in there, show what you can. The thing is, like, people ask about. Well, here, let me answer Lex's question real quick. So I wouldn't, for the most part, really, I wouldn't have a demo reel over 2 minutes. So if you go 2:15, okay, sure. The reality is that a casting director, an agent, a manager that is looking at you for a project, and they have casting coming in, and they have thousands of actors to see through, they're getting caught, they're pressing play, they're looking at the first scene, either they're engaged or they're not, and if you're lucky, they'll skip to the middle of it, and they'll watch that, they'll be engaged, or they're not, and then maybe they'll skip to the end of it, and they'll watch that. If they're not, then they'll go on right to the next reel. But if you have a reel that engages a casting director immediately, it's you. It's on your face. Your reel should always open with you on your face, so we know exactly who we're watching. I've seen too many reels where, like, they open on some miscellaneous character, and then I have no idea who the actual actor is. Can I send you a reel that's way too long and get your opinion? Yes. Send a link to Brett, BRETT, at LAReels.com. Brett at LAReels.com. Hey,
amazing.
Percy.
Hey, Percy Rusty.
Jeez, what's up? Long time.
This is one of mutual friends.
Yeah.
So guys, that's the first bit of, if you're going to take some points down here, the first bit is open your reel on you. Now, from what I've seen, Brett, when people open their reel on someone else, it's for a couple of reasons, right? Number one, they don't know how to edit.
Right.
Number two, they think that whichever famous person they're opposite is way more important, and it'll be some. So listen, let me tell you this: it's great to have you acting opposite famous people on your reel, because that shows validation. But when you put that famous person up front, what you're doing is basically showing your lack of confidence in yourself to hold the scene, and you're putting it all in that famous person. And guess what? There's people with even more famous people in their reel than you. So the famous person isn't going to sell it for you.
And not only that, we're not thinking about you anymore. We're thinking about, oh, that famous
Right.
person was in this show, and I got to go
Yes.
watch him in this or her in this. So
Yeah.
the reality
And
is...
then
Yeah,
go on,
go ahead.
continue.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the other reason I see people do it is they think that it gives context to the story, and the story in a reel is your performance. We don't have to know the story. It just has to make reasonable sense in a logical sense, but we don't have to give backstory.
100%. You know that. Okay, so we'll talk about context in a scene for a reel. People will elongate scenes way too long because I want to show the context. I want to show the story. The reality is, whatever you put up there, the viewer will create their own context in their own. We're watching your reel to be focused on you. We want to see your essence on camera. We want to see your skill set, your performance. We want to see you listening. You know, we want to see you. You know, the goal when you're editing scenes is to make them not distracting, to take away from your performance. You want to keep an eye on your performance.
Right.
So
right.
you add
and
people, you take away. Now, go ahead.
The thing is as well, if you're actually doing a real scene, if the acting is good, you will absolutely be able to see the context, right?
Yeah.
Without, you don't need to, like, if we see two people having an argument in a scene and the acting's good, we don't need to know what the argument's about. We don't need to know whether he slept with someone before or he left his job, or
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
What matters is the moment between the two of you in the scene, or the three of you in the scene.
Yeah. No. Correct. I mean, the reel is just a bunch of little moments put together to show diversity in your work and what you can do.
Angelina's in the room. Hey, Angelina, one of our elite members from Sundance.
Yeah, Sundance 2019, or was that 2020? It was 2020.
2020. Yeah,
wow.
back in the day, back when we could socialize.
Right.
Brett, let's take some questions.
Yeah.
Jules of the Earth said, "Where in New Jersey?" Me too. That's not really a question. Where in New Jersey, Brett? Where are you from in New Jersey?
Long Valley, New Jersey. Northwest Jersey, about an hour west of New York City.
An hour west of New York City. Okay, so Jules, your question. This is a good one. I've seen some, Brett, me and you are both going to cringe at this, aren't we? I've seen some that overlay a music track and cuts out all dialogue. What is preferred?
No, any montage, anything like that, get rid of it. We don't care about that. I don't want to see a music video montage of you. I want to see you acting. And that's what I said at the beginning of this conversation. Get right into the goods. Start on a strong performance. Start on a really strong scene. Right on you. Engage us with your skill set, not with visual garbage. So
cool. So Brett, I'm a real fan of being 100% blunt, even if it gets to the point. Guys, do not put music tracks and montages. Simple. Cutting out dialogue. Why? Why would you do that? You're not making a music video. It's not a beauty reel. It's not to show beautiful shots of you. It's to show you acting. Great stuff, Brett. Next question is...
Well, hey, real quick, just to preface this with everybody, what's funny is that Darren and I didn't have a conversation about this before we got on it, but we have the same preferences because we've both been in and around the industry for so long, and we have that experience at this point. So that's cool. That's cool.
There is an industry standard. Yeah. Well, the thing is, I mean, as with anything creative, some things are subjective and different people work different ways.
Yeah.
But it's an industry standard that montages are good for no one.
No.
So Maria Narado, sorry, I'm probably pronouncing your name wrong. If we're bilingual, that's awesome, and want to aim at the US and UK industry, what should be the order of scenes and languages in our reel?
Okay, so you want to aim at a primarily English-speaking market, right? US and UK. So I always recommend putting an English-speaking scene first, but then adding being bilingual is a skill set. It's another skill that goes on your resume. It makes you more hireable for more types of projects. So adding a scene, maybe second or third, that shows your language, your additional languages.
I mean, I
What do
100%
you
agree
think
with
about
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
for the UK US, and again, if you're doing not just languages but accents, so my reel, if any of you watched it, I don't know if you did before because I put it on the Instagram before this, but if you watch my reel, I start with my American scene in Magnum, and then I go to an American show playing a British guy. Because I did that order because then it's like that'll show the range, because I primarily work in LA and in Hollywood, and so that's better for me to have the more American work up front.
Mm. Mm.
Awesome.
I saw
Let's see what.
Cleo, there was okay. Cleo had a question that went up in the comments. I'm a lead in a short film, although there was no dialogue. Can I use that? So it really depends on what other material you have. You know, if you have so what I would say for something like that is take a really nice moment, a 10-second moment out of that. And if you have other scenes that are nicely fit scenes, I would use those first always so we can see your performances. But then what I would do with that, you know, with that no dialogue scene is I would maybe show it the last 10 seconds of the reel and then have your name card come up over it.
Mixed with professional footage, Brett. So
Yeah.
being someone, Brett creates footage for actors that don't have it, and also you edit reels. So what would you say, Brett? Would you say should you ever mix a self-tape scene with professional footage? Should you shoot more footage, or should you just have a shorter reel?
So if you have two great scenes are better than five whatever scenes. If you have one great scene, that's better. If you have great acting scene that looks professional, sounds professional, that's better than multiple self-taped scenes or whatever because it
Yeah.
looks like you work. The thing about a reel, it doesn't just show your performance and your essence, but it also shows that, you know, hopefully that you've worked on set. If not, like you had produced footage that looks professional, that looks like it's from an indie film or a television show, but it looks like you've worked on set already. That for a casting director, for a director, it makes you less of a risk, and it makes you more hireable because someone else has already hired you. So you know, there's a multi-tier purpose to having a professional reel. So I
Brett
hope.
is just dropping value bombs by the second here. Look at that. So yeah, to add to that, guys. Sorry, it might be a bit windy. Sorry, I've just turned a corner. To add to that, if you have one professional scene, right? One of the things I want you to get in your head is it's okay to be early on in your career, right? To me, it's much better, and it can actually be exciting to find an actor that has done one thing and has has got more potential, more exciting than seeing someone try and BS their way through acting like they've done a lot when they've only done a little bit. What turns me off more, like let's say when we go to film festivals, I would rather meet the actor that says, hey, I'm starting out, I've just done one thing, but I'm just learning and trying to achieve more, than the actor that says, yeah, my film's going to be here next year, when we all know that no one knows which film's going to be there next year, right? So it's like, it's okay to be new as long as you are genuine and humble.
Yeah.
It's worse to be cocky, and the minute you start acting like you've done more than you have, guess what? We're here, we've done more than you, and then someone's done more than us, and then someone's done more than them. So just stay. I'm not going to say stay in your lane. Always be aspiring, but know your position and give your best work out at that level, and then carry on moving up.
I have another answer to this as well. So what's best when you don't have professional footage yet? Can you add a self-tape scene mixed with that? So if you're already filming your own self-tapes, right, and you know how to record clean audio and you know how to record like a nice composition and deal with lighting and such, I just wrote a blog post today on the LA Reels website called 2 Tips for Turning a Monologue into a TV and Film Scene for Your Reel. Thing that you can do if you have a monologue.
That's on your website, is it?
Yeah, it's on my website. You know, after this interview, what I'll do is I'll put a link to it on the front page. So if anyone wants to go to it after this interview, they can go right to the front page. But basically,
Okay.
there's something in there that I talk about. I talk about a telephone scene, turning a monologue into a telephone scene, and there's an example of it in my reel. My reel actually opens with a scene I shot for myself, but you think it's from a movie. It's one single shot. There's no editing except for cutting the front and the back end of it, and it's like 10 seconds of a moment from a monologue that I turned into a conversation I was having on the phone with somebody else. So now it looks like I'm interacting with somebody else, you know, and
Yeah.
and it looks like it's out of a professional piece. If you check out the blog post, it gives you all the information on how to do it. So
Great. Wonderful, man. Let's look at these next questions. What have we got? Right.
So nice.
Okay. Do you provide quick reel clips to show drama only and comedy only for casting submissions that may be requested by casting?
So
is that
okay,
a service you provide?
What was that?
Is that a service you provide? Can you see the question on the screen, Brett?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can see it. It's like over my face. Yeah. So do I provide that? Yes. So like, you know, any reel that's cut, you can cut and put that piece in. Now, to answer the question more broadly for everyone, usually on the actors' websites, on the actor profile sites, Actors Access, LA Casting, Casting Networks, 800 Casting, etc., what people do is, you know, you can do it several ways. When you submit for comedy, submit your comedy clips. When you submit for drama, submit your drama clips. When you submit, like when I submit an EcoCast for my own auditions, I will submit my entire reel along with the audition tape as well. So they have it. They don't have to watch it, but they have it. Before I get the audition, you know, if you're submitting for a comedy, submit your comedy clips. If you're submitting for a drama, submit your drama clips. You can either split all your scenes into one comedy reel, split all your scenes into one drama reel, or just split them up in pieces. The thing is, if you get a new piece, then you got to take down and add it to that full reel, blah, blah. If you do it in pieces, then you can submit it piece by piece. So it is a good strategy when you're specifically submitting for casting of a specific genre. So.
Right. Awesome. Perfect. Thank you. Guys, if this is helpful, give some hearts here and let us know if we're doing okay or if there's something different you want to see from us, all right?
My email, so it's Brett, BRETT, at LAReels, LAREELS.com. Brett at LAReels.com. Cool.
Okay, great question from Chloe. How can you make a reel scene not just look like you made a reel scene just for your reel? well, that's why you hire a professional.
Well, yes. So, but if you like, it's understandable why people are not going out there and hiring someone like myself or the other, production services that create original scenes, because maybe, especially now, since no one's working, you don't have the funds. There are ways to do it. You know, if you look at the blog post that I wrote today, 2 tips to turn a monologue into a TV film scene, that will give you insight in how to do it. Now, just overall for everybody, sound is the most important no matter what. You can film on an iPhone and they shoot 1080, they shoot 4K, they shoot beautifully. Look up
60 frames a second as well, yeah.
120 frames per second, although you don't want to shoot 120 frames per second.
Right.
So you don't want to shoot that. But I mean, you can shoot beautifully and the machine will make it look beautiful for you. But sound is always the most important thing. What I recommend, if you want to shoot something at home, plus there, audition taping is getting huge too. Go out and buy a nicely rated microphone for your phone, whether it's an Android or an iPhone. There's a ton of them on Amazon that are well rated. Look up the reviews. Look up why people like them. Look up why people don't like them. You know, and see what's going to work best for you.
Now, are you talking like a lavalier mic or a shotgun mic, or talk us through the different types of mics?
So right. So you could buy little shotgun mics that will plug into your phone and then aim a microphone at you. The problem with that is if you're far away from the microphone, then it won't hear you as well. So there are little lavalier mics, which is basically, you know, a mic that you can have on yourself that will have a transmitter and a receiver, or sometimes it will literally just be a wire from your phone that you can use. I recommend getting a lavalier mic, but you're going to have to know how to do some audio control with it, just so you can at least get a nice level on it. So,
Right.
Yeah. Look up,
Awesome.
There's plenty of videos on YouTube to look up, you know, at-home audio systems on your phone. So
Perfect. Wonderful. So, we've already answered this one, but anyone that's missed it, as a rule of thumb, how long should reels be? We're saying around the 2-minute mark is good, guys. 2 minutes.
Yeah. 2 minutes.
You can obviously fluctuate with that. I know some actors that have 10-minute reels that are, you know, professional working actors, and I know some actors that have 30-second reels, right? Mine, I try and keep mine at a 2-minute. I have a longer one if they request it, about 5 minutes, which has more of the scenes on it. But mine's 2 minutes. I think mine's 2 minutes 15 seconds actually.
Yeah, mine is too. Mine's like 2 minutes and 15 seconds as well.
That's because we don't want to kill our babies, do we?
Right.
So guys, actually, I don't know if you saw this, but I shared a picture. I'm going to share it again for you, of my edit of my reel, and I want to talk about this while we're on this. Actually, let me pull this up. So, can you guys all see this? Yeah, you can see this, can't you? So that's the edit of my reel. Now, if you look,
that's cool.
There's only 5. I think there might be 6 or 7 clips on there, but there's way more cuts than actual clips. Okay, and then the green is all the audio that I've split and cut. And the reason there's so many layers of green is because what I did is, like, let's say I had a scene with Jordana Brewster, who's the girl from Fast and the Furious. Me and her worked on a show called Magnum, and her dialogue was more lengthy than mine. You know, the scene was that she came round to and, you know, broke into my house, pointed a gun at me, and was asking where the money was. And, you know, for every one line of my dialogue, she had about 5. She's a star. That's how it works. And now, while that scene worked perfectly well, when she comes in and says, "Where's the money?" and I say, "I don't have it," and then she says, "Well, this happened and this happened and this happened. So, you know, I thought this guy came round and then he gave it to you and then he put it in the wardrobe." Well, where he put it was irrelevant. So I then cut it to just her saying, "Well, this guy said you have it," and then it cuts back to my response, and it still works. And so what I've done is trimmed the fat of the reel, and I don't mean that Jordana's performance was fat or bad, but it doesn't serve my purpose of my reel. So I still get the story across and the context across. And so that way, this reel with my clips as they are would be, you know, 5-6 minutes. But I was able to cut these moments out. And then the reason I spliced the audio in that way is to stop it sounding jarring. You can slightly overlap the audio in the right way. So you can mess with it a little bit, as long as you're now. And the other thing I did as well was made sure I cut the clips so they have a natural flow. And I want to talk about this quickly, guys, because this is the kind of subliminal thing that can make something feel professional, and you won't even know it's going on. So I'm using a filmmaking editing technique of what you would do in a narrative, whereby each scene really moves into the next scene in an organic way. So, for instance, in one scene, I'm running out of the door. Smash cut to the next scene, I'm walking in a door. At the end of that scene, I'm doing my jacket up. In the next scene, I'm opening my jacket to reveal a gun. And these things, I'm not trying to create a story here. What I'm trying to do is seamlessly move the viewer through so that they don't stop watching.
Yeah.
And so now just to add to that, you don't want to do that to a point of that you're not trying to indulge yourself with that. It's all about the acting. But if you can make edits like that don't affect what you're trying to do, so just you just got to don't make that a thing. But if you can do it whilst you're doing the main purpose, it will help the reel flow. And if the reel flows, they're more likely to watch it till the end.
And hey, two things to add to that. So you said smash cut. So
Yeah.
smash cut is like one scene right into the next scene. He doesn't fade out. He doesn't fade in. It just goes one scene, bam, right into the next scene. So
I think I use a very quick black fade actually.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
But there's no dead time between scenes.
No, but I do smash cut to my name for only about 2 seconds. Not even 2 seconds.
Yeah, no, I love that opening of you, because you open on you first. Then we see Darren Darnborough. We embed it into our brain, and then you continue on with it. You know what's funny too? That the cut, one of the cuts that you did in that MacGyver scene in the opening, when she busts into the house, it cuts down to the money, and then you're answering her. And I definitely noticed that cut that you did. I noticed it because that's what I do for a living. But no, but I saw how you clean that. It was nice. And then another trick to do that for everyone who just listened to what Darren said. Another way to do that, if you any insert shot in the scene, you can use to help transition your cut to another cut on you. If that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can pull out a scene where it cuts to the money, and then it can drop to the next one.
Yeah. So inserts will save you. Like there's when I clean someone's reel, like who sends me their reel and is like, hey, can you clean this and tighten it for me? What I do automatically, I go through the first thing and I watch it, and then I go back and I watch it again, and I basically cut my timeline. I have my video and my audio. And if it's one reel, it'll be one straight thing. I'll cut where all the shots change, and I'll cut where all your audio, where all the actor whose reel I'm editing, where all their audio starts and begins. So then I know what I have to use for my visual and what I have to use for my audio, and then I can do exactly what Darren was saying. When you move the audio under a different frame in the video to help move the scene along, or to help actually transition it with a nicer flow. So
Awesome.
Yeah.
Should we have a title card with headshots?
So do you want to? I have a simple answer for this.
Go.
So at the end. So what I recommend, if you want to put your headshot, put a headshot in your name clean. Usually I don't recommend putting a headshot. I say just put the name. We've already hopefully, if you did it right, we've seen your face the entire time. And now you want to embed your name in them, so it's nice and clean. Your name on white, your name on black and white. The reality is, if they're looking at your reel from one of the casting profiles already, they have your headshot, they have your contact information, they have all of that. Make it about you, embed you in their brain.
Awesome. Great. Guys, can I ask something? Does anyone else, has Brett stopped moving for you? He stopped moving for me. I can still hear him. But can you all see Brett moving? Someone say yes if you can see Brett moving, because he stopped for me.
Well, you're a little fuzzy, to be honest.
Am I a little fuzzy?
You're a little fuzzy. Yes.
I'm refreshing.
Yes. Everyone is saying yes. All right.
Oh, so you can.
Darren
Okay.
is fuzzy.
So it must be my.
Give me a hurrah.
It's probably my signal. Okay, great.
All right.
Yeah, I'm fuzzy. I'm running out of signal, I think. So what's best if you want to show you, as long as they can see you, they don't need to see me. What's best if you want to show you also sing, mixing acting scenes with singing video clips?
So like Glee was a big thing, right? So like literally you had narrative shows where you had an acting scene that busted into song. we have actually shot scenes like that, where we'll be in a bar setting scene, and then the girl gets up and starts singing like to her love interest, and we've done different things like that. Now, it's hard to come across something like that, to be cast in something very specific like that, you know, or you can go and produce it yourself. If you have only singing footage and you have your acting footage, if you want to show that, I recommend putting a small portion of it, the best voice that you have, like for like 5 to 10 seconds, somewhere at the end, right before you end the reel. The reel should be acting. Right? If you are a professional singer, you should have your own professional singing reel as well. And then in that case, you send both reels in so that so they can look for it. In special cases, when it's a show where they want actors that can sing, they want to see. They'll probably ask you for your singing reel as well. Did that help? Did that answer that, or is there more to be said?
I think that's pretty good. I think that answers it.
Okay.
Okay, Blanc Valeria. If we have many scenes from the same film, should we put them all together or not?
Okay. So if you have many scenes from the same film, from the same project, if they're you can have many scenes, and usually you as a character, there's different arcs of your character going on through that project in each one of those scenes. So one, it might show you in love. One, it might show you breaking up and heartbroken. So what I recommend is, if there's very diverse performances in those scenes, separate them. Put the stronger one at the beginning, have a couple scenes in between, and then put the other one somewhere a couple scenes down. But make sure it's not the same performance. Make sure it's not the same energy. Like, you want to be the goal of the reel is to show diversity in your portfolio of work. So
Right. Amazing. What else have we got here? So let's go down. All right, this is a good one. This is talking about fixing something that's already happened. The sound quality of my reel is awful. I need help because I'm not very tech savvy. What can you do about that, Brett?
So, all right. So sound, like I said, if you guys were listening earlier before, sound is the most important thing. Video, you can film on almost anything, and as long as it's consistent and you have nice composition, you can call it style. But you can't. Sound, for the most part, you can't fix 100%, or hide, because it's audible. It's always there, no matter what. Like this motorcycle going by. Um, but there are certain audio programs like Audition, and sound cleaning plugins that you can use to clean sound and take down levels. Now that takes a whole understanding of knowing your sound waves and knowing decibels and things like that. The other thing you could do, you could go and you could dub it. I actually had a client. I had a client come to me with a scene that she had filmed. Can you hear me? There we go. With a scene that she had filmed with another, with like a student film, and their audio was just horrible. So what we did, it was two actors. We dubbed it. I played one of the actors. Oh, Audacity. Thank you, Blake. Audacity is another cleaning tool, and I think that's free to download. So you can try that as well. Do some research on YouTube. But this client came to me with a scene with horrible audio, so we dubbed it. We dubbed her and her audio, and then we had me. So we dubbed me with the other guy's audio. When the other guy watched it, he thought it was him talking. And he was like, "Wow, you guys did such a good job cleaning the audio." And he's like, "We sound good," but he thought it was him. But that's a good dubbing job. You got to know how to dub and have someone know how to do that. What I recommend, if you think the sound is totally just lost and you're not going to be able to fix it, I would put my energy into writing and shooting something new for yourself that's clean and professional. The reality is that sound is going to take an audience out. If it's bad, sound's going to take an audience out, and then no one's going to be focusing on your acting performance.
Right, and just to add, apart from that, anything really super professional will have good sound. So what
Yeah,
you're telling the person watching the show reel is that you haven't done very professional work.
correct.
Now, I'm not saying, Nikita, that it might be, because I just want to play devil's advocate here. I don't know. Nikita's tape might have bad sound because it might be something from TV that's been ripped in a bad way. So perhaps it's the way she got her real footage was bad sounds. Do you see what I'm saying? It might not have been bad sound on the day when they actually made the project, but some people, you know, if they can't find their project, they will record the TV with their video camera. In which case that will produce bad sound. So guys, if that's you, if you've got a bad quality copy of something professional you did, there's a service out there that I use, and it's called
Air
AirCheck.
check, air check.
And
Yeah.
I've used a few different ones of them, but the one that I found, there's a guy called the Daily Actor. So you go to Daily Actor, like, you know, every day of the week, DAILY actor.com/aircheck, which is spelled like fresh air and a check mark. So AIRCHECK, dailyactor.com/aircheck. And you tell him which TV show you were in and which episode, and he'll find it for you and he'll send you the clip. And it's
That's
about,
great. Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's about $30.
yeah.
And guys, $30 is a good amount of money to spend to get a great quality of your clip.
Yeah. Yeah. So air
Um,
check. Then also Actors Access
right.
has
So
air check as
Nikita
well.
said that's exactly it. Is a feature film on Netflix, which doesn't know how to download it. Nikita,
Right.
do go to dailyactor.com/aircheck and tell him we sent you. It'll be nice to you. He does all of my stuff personally, so he's found all of my projects. And you know what's so great, guys, is that if you've got something coming up, he'll schedule it. And so as soon as I've done a TV show, I hire this guy. I email him and say, right, I'm going to be in Magnum on, you know, sometimes I don't even know the date it's coming on. I say I'm going to be in this episode of Magnum, and he'll find when it's going to be airing, and he'll do it, and he'll send it to you the next morning. So as
Yeah.
soon as your show's aired, you get that, and it's amazing. Alex Freya, is that the same for UK? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he could do UK shows. I think he can. So check with him. Great question. That brought up a lot of interesting stuff, didn't it?
Yeah. Just real quick. So a couple of people asked how much I charge for tightening. If you guys go to lareels.com/edits, EDITS, there's a whole rate sheet and a whole bunch of information. I'm also discounting right now because it's a tough time for people. So feel free to hit me up separately.
That's amazing. Thank you, Brett. Thank you for doing that for actors. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
So Theo, Marceau, can you use film stage performances, or should you stick to TV and film work?
So again, that's another, that's another interesting question. It really depends. For the most part, if you have a really strong, theater performance, live theater performance that is like a big state or state or county theater or whatever, Darren, you got some animals around you. And it's like
Sorry.
the climax of the scene. Sure, if it's really resonating. A lot of the times, theater films, theater film performances are like from the back of a house, and they're blurry and they're buzzy. If you have strong on-camera stuff, TV and film stuff, I recommend for TV and film reel always using that stuff first, because also there are theater reels. There are actors that just act in theater or act in theater and film, and they have a just theater reel. They have a just stage reel. They have a just TV film reel. They have a just commercial reel, just a stunt reel, just a singing reel. So niching yourself out in this crazy industry is smart and specific. You want to be smart and specific with the material and portfolio that you present to people. You don't want to over inundate people with useless stuff. You want to show them the good stuff that you want to show them right away.
Perfect. There you
With
go,
an S.
guys.
Angelina with an S. LAReels.com/edits with an S. So
Edits
sorry.
with an S. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can put that in the comments as well, but okay. Right. Can a monologue count as a reel?
Okay, great question. So if you were here earlier, I was talking about a blog post I just did today that I posted on the LA Reels website. 2 tips to turn a monologue into a TV film scene for your reel. So yes, definitely. If you look at that, I give you 2 tips that I use. One that I actually used for my own reel. One, I created a telephone scene with the monologue. I just changed some dialogue up. And then 2, another way to do it is to get someone else in the scene so they can react off of you. Who you got to cast appropriately, by the way, so it looks legitimate. And then to add some interjection dialogue. Then rehearse that with the added interjection dialogue, and then shoot your coverage, and then turn around and shoot the other actor's coverage, and then edit that together. Now the thing with that, if you do the interjection, you got to edit it. You got to know how to edit. If you do the telephone scene, you can shoot it in one shot and make it look legit. So you know, and then it's just you. You don't need to edit it. So
Awesome. Thank you, Brett. I just want to shout out to, we've got one of our elite members and good friends on here, Chris Shakali. If you see him down there, guys. Yeah. He was one of our Sundance house people as well. Angelina's in the house. It's so great to see, you know, the community coming together like this, guys. Guys, if you didn't know about our film festival trips, obviously we've stopped doing them for the moment because of what's happening. But you can go to our Instagram page and look at the highlights, and you can see us all at Sundance. You'll see Brett and Angelina and Chris and everyone else, Carrie, Chelsea, that were all there, and what we got up to at film festivals. And that's a really great way to engage with the community on WeAudition, just in case you're wondering about all the other stuff we do. Right, Brett, let's pound through a couple more questions, because this thing will cut off in 12 minutes. So I'm gonna pick some questions now. We should pound through them with quick answers. Okay, here you go, Brett. Is it possible to get your footage from a film if your scene was not in the final cut? What's your recommendations? You're a producer. Okay. How would you do this?
Right. So I mean, at that point, the only way you can do it is call the production company. Call the production company and say, hey, can I get I mean, odds are they either edited your scene and then it didn't make the final cut. You know, you can ask for whatever edit they did, and you can ask for the raw footage. They're never going to give it to you until it's all, you know, until it has already aired or shown or is out of the movie theaters. But you know, for the most part, if you get the right person at the right production company, they'll send you your footage. I've done it multiple times, and especially commercials, for commercials as well. I've called multiple commercial production companies and gotten commercials that I've been in, and they've had no problem sending me the footage.
Great. I would add to that though. Obviously, if you can ask for it, do it, but don't hassle people, because from my perspective, you know, I've shot pilots that have never aired. I've been in shows where I've been cut out. Now, okay, I'm someone that has footage on my reel, and I don't desperately need this footage. However, like, I would say that to me, there's a fine line between asking for it and hounding someone for it. And if you hound someone for it, you'll just seem unprofessional. So right. use Brett's advice, politely ask for it, be professional about it. But if they say no, accept that you got paid for the job. That was what you did. And the nuance of this industry is that sometimes you get in the final cut and sometimes you don't. No one owes you that to be in the final cut. That's filmmaking. And you know,
Blake. I was going to say, Blake keeps asking questions on the thing. Use the Q&A button above.
Yep. Okay, so let's look at... 1 second. I'm just trying to find. Here you go. This is a good one. Well, this isn't about reels, but okay. It's about self tapes. What's the best color for background for self tape, Brett?
Just something that's not distracting and isn't the same color of the shirt that you're wearing.
Yeah. I answered this question the other day, guys. The right color is neutral, flat and neutral, and something that complements you and doesn't. So, depending on your skin tone, you know, whether you're black or white or somewhere in between, whether you've got dark hair or light hair, and how your lighting is can all affect it. So there's not one rule of thumb. You know, I would shoot on a very different background to my girlfriend who has dark hair. Do you know? So it depends on what you're doing. Generally, what we see is people using white, grey, like an off-white, grey, or blue. It seems to be popular colours.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of blue, the bright blue, myself, just because I feel like it makes everything look really. It looks so studio. But that's my personal preference. I feel like I'm hyper aware when I'm watching something with that bright blue background. I'm hyper aware that I'm watching a scene for an audition rather than feeling in the moment. That's my personal preference. Don't listen to me all the time. Let me see what else you got. Here you go. Do you put the title and the director over the clip to say where it's from? Is that necessary?
Okay.
I'll answer this. I'll answer this first. I've got it on mine. I didn't put the director. I put the name of the show. The reason I didn't put the name of the director and the network is just because the shows that I'm in were reasonably popular, so it doesn't need the extra information. I feel the extra information is taking away from my performance and distracting. It's my show reel, not the director's show reel.
Yeah.
But I did put the show name there because sometimes there's a really recognizable actor in it, like True Blood. You know that guy is the main guy in True Blood that I'm acting opposite. Whereas something like in Magnum, it's a famous person I'm acting opposite, but you might not know which show it is.
Right. Yeah. No. I mean exactly that. Remember, less is more. You know, it's about your performance. Now, if you're in a well-known feature film or television show, throw that. You know, you can throw that title in there. What I like to do with my clients' reels, if you look at my reel, you'll see that I was in Glow. So what I did was I actually took the PNG logo online and I overlaid that. So now I have the title, but I have their branding as well on my screen, and it's very subtle. So, but it's like, oh, I know that show. Everyone knows that show. If it's a short film or a piece that doesn't have a name or people don't really know about, I think you can skip that part altogether and just let it be about the performance.
Yeah, I just want to second that. That's so true. It's like if people don't know what it's from, there's no reason to tell them. I mean, it makes no odds.
Yeah, let them think it's from something bigger than it is.
1 second. Cuts. I'm going to pick the last question.
Okay.
1 second.
Real quick, David, short film camera. If you know DSLRs, there's a lot of great Canons out there. There's also mirrorless cameras. Canon is a fantastic shooting device. Sony, the A7 III is fantastic. It really just depends on your budget. You know, do some YouTube research, and B&H is a great website to compare and contrast all of that information. B&H.com.
Okay, this is the last question I think we're going to get through. How long should the clips from each scene be?
Okay. I wouldn't go over 30 seconds, you know, at a max, just because, I mean, unless it's the only clip that you have, just because you want to keep the pacing going, you want to keep the energy there. You know, you can have clips as short as 10 seconds. It's funny because, like, I get a lot of clients that come and they're like, oh, I did this little co-star, I have 2 lines in it, blah, blah. That little co-star could be 15 seconds of solid gold if you cut it right, chew out the fat, which is what Darren said, and just make it about you. You take your reactions, put them over the dialogue of the main character, intercut with their face a little bit, and then go back to your dialogue. That scene is now about you with that leading actor in the scene with you. So
amazing. Perfect. Well, guys, we're going to be wrapping this up in a couple of minutes. So I just want to thank you, Brett, for coming on, using your time for this. Thank you. The other day, Brett did a great session, and he spent hours on WeAudition giving people personalized advice on their reels. So let's thank him for that. Brett, just run down the ways that people can contact you and what you can help them with.
Sure. So direct contact is brett@lareels.com. That's my email, brett@lareels.com, @lareels on IG, and then www.lareels.com for the website. Again, if you email me, I'll send you specific links for the blog post I wrote, and then the editing page as well, and then some other cool info.
And guys, if you want to see the reels that we were talking about, both mine and Brett's reels are up on our Instagram right now, on our IGTV. So mine is at Darren Darnborough, my name, Darren, Darnborough, and Brett's is at the Brett Newton, THE Brett Newton. And then you can go and watch our reels and see all the tricks and tips, and go through them and see if you can spot the things we were talking about, because we've both done them to our reels and we've both made our reels in that fashion. So thank you, Alice. Good to see you there, one of our other elite members, Alice Kwan, or Aaliyah, as you can find her on the website. Alex as well in London, thank you. I think you're in London, I never know where you are. So yeah, guys, thank you all for being here. It's been an amazing week on WeAudition. We've had so many casting directors and agents and managers using it, and so many of you guys being really supportive to each other. So thank you. It's been really great to see.
And it's honestly, it's really exciting to be able to share all this information, and having 43 people watching us live right now. It's a crazy time in our lives. Stay positive and just keep being creative and be healthy. So thank you, guys.
Yeah. Stay healthy. Thank you guys all for being here.
All right. Thank you, Darren.
See you later, guys. Have a good one. And we're going to be saving this, guys, and we'll be publishing it for another 24 hours. So you can go back and rewatch it on the live button down there. All right. See you later. Bye.
Later.